Dr. Doreen Grand-Pichet is the
Dr. Doreen is an expert in autism.
Doreen Grand-Pichet.
Dr. Grand-Pichet.
Dr. Doreen Grand-Pichet.
Dr. Doreen Grand-Pichet is a visionary in the field of autism. Now you can ask her questions on Ask Dr. Doreen.
We've got somebody who wrote in and said, my son is 6.5 years old, nonverbal. We live in a part of the world where we don't have much knowledge about ASD, nor do we have therapy services. They live in a small village in the north of Pakistan. And they said, coming back to my son, he loves books, especially the English alphabet, and he spends hours looking at them. He doesn't have any sense of danger, and even whenever he sees water, he gets excited and tries to jump into it. Is it common with ASD children that they love water a lot?
Oh, gosh. Okay. Let's start. First of all, welcome, and we love having you with us on this show, and thank you for joining us. I don't know how you found us, but I'm really happy that you're here, and we're going to do our best to guide you, not just today, but I hope you will keep coming back so we can keep things moving. So he is 6.5 and nonverbal, and it sounds like you're kind of just starting to do some things to try to help him. You're from Pakistan. I understand where you're coming from. I'm originally from Iran, so I know that that part of the world in general is pretty far behind when it comes to understanding autism and treating autism. I know that. So it doesn't matter. We don't care about labels. It's about identifying what your child needs to learn and then using, I guess I call it the language of ABA to teach him those things. So right now, before we get into too much on how to teach your child, I want to recommend that you try to teach yourself first. So I'd like to offer you to go to 2 separate websites. I would start with IBT's website, which is the Institute for Behavioral Training. And their website is ibehavioraltraining.com. Thank you very much, Traven, for putting that up. So ibehavioraltraining.com. And there, I really want you to go through the first 10 or so training modules for parents, which will talk about autism. It'll talk about ABA and what is ABA and how does it work. And then it'll start to teach you actually the basic premises of ABA and how to get your child to come and sit down, how you need to have a list of reinforcers that your child is interested in, how you can shape behavior gradually, how you break down every task. All these things are super important to learn because that's going to be the way that you will teach your child going forward, okay? And then once you've learned some of this stuff, I think your second step should be to go on another website called Skills for Autism. So www.skillsforautism.com. And there you will become a member and you will start to answer questions about your child. And you'll put in your child's date of birth and it'll start giving you questions across the board, like on everything, on language, social, play, you name it, all these different areas. And you will say yes or no. The questions are things like, can your child talk? And you'll say no. Can your child play with other kids? And you'll say no, and so on. And everything that you say no to goes into a pile of things that need to be taught. So what you're doing by answering that assessment is you are building a curriculum for your child. You're building a kind of program, right? And so you'll do all of that. There's another section on skills that's important as well. If your child has a lot of challenging behaviors like tantruming and hitting and all that, And that is what's called the CFA, or CARDS Indirect Functional Assessments. That's on Skills website. And when you answer questions there, you'll start to learn about why your child has the challenging behaviors they have. For example, if a child hits, you might realize, oh, he only hits when we place a demand on him. So what he's trying to do is get out of the demand. Or he might hit when he's with other kids, and you'll realize, oh, he's hitting because he wants the toy they have. And so you start to learn a little bit about why our kids do the challenging behaviors. And that links to another part of the website, which is a BIP builder, which is sort of a behavior intervention plan. So that section tells you what to do anytime a behavior occurs. So now you've learned how to do a little bit of ABA from IBT, and you've figured out what your child's challenging behaviors are, and you're in the process of answering that assessment, so you're figuring out everything your child needs to learn. Now I need you to go and find friends or neighbors or family or people who are going to help you, because you can't do this alone. It could be teachers as well, but these are people who have to be supportive, available, and willing to learn. And I would just put together a team of people who are going to help you. So all you need is about 4 or 5 people, honestly. You don't need a whole bunch of people, but 5 people who each offer you something around 10 hours of their time in a week would be ideal, would be fantastic. And if you can put that team together and then start having them watch what you saw on IBT and start learning, and IBT has hundreds of training modules, so you can get everybody to start watching together and get them more and more advanced training. Then now you have a team. You guys know how to work within the spectrum of autism, and you've learned some ABA, and you have a program from Skills, which is going to guide you and tell you how to progress. And now you should be able to, and we're happy to answer your questions here as well, but you should be able to start actually teaching your child all the things, not just vocalization, but a lot of things that he needs. So let's start trying to do that. And as for, I think there was the water. Yeah, a lot of kids enjoy sensory stimulation of different kinds. If he likes to jump into water, now you know that the sensory contact, the tactile stimulation on his skin, or the pressure on his skin from water is a reward. It's a reinforcer. So use it as a reinforcer. In other words, once you get started and once he starts to do things like imitating sounds or showing items that he wants by touching them or pointing to them, or actually vocalizing objects the way you want, things that he will get out of his ABA program, then make sure that you regularly take him and reward him by letting him jump in the water and play for a little while as a reward for having had a good day. Long
answer, but an important one. And I have to be Debbie Downer and add something to that, which is that the number one cause of death in individuals with autism is drowning. And that our kids who are sensory seekers and seek water, we have to be particularly careful that you got to make sure that he's safe and that do everything that you can so that you do not become a part of that statistic, because we've had so many kids who will sneak away in whatever way they can and get into water. It means, and there's like a 5-pronged thing that I don't know if Dr. Grant-Pichet wants to talk about, but you can't just put locks on your doors. That has not been found to be effective. You can't just teach them how to swim. I mean, you need to do both of those things, but you need to do them together while teaching them other skills like being able to request help, to be able to communicate. I want to go to the water. I'm uncomfortable right now. You need to be doing ABA, teaching them how to swim, teaching them danger and safety. And you've got to protect them by putting locks and alarms everywhere. Did I leave anything out, Dr. Grandpichet?
No, not at all, Shannon. But because this family is from Pakistan, I'm wondering if it's a swimming pool or it's more likely a lake nearby. So I guess you kind of have to take our advice and modify it to fit what conditions you're under.
There you go.
Yeah, extremely important. And I will say it's one of those things we hate to talk about, but it's very, very true. And I have over the years had, unfortunately, 3 different children that I know. Of course, we have thousands of children that I meet at CARD, but we've had 3 different children who, even in the middle of the night when their parents were asleep, when everyone was asleep, little ones went over to the pool and unfortunately didn't make it. It's one of the most, it's a river, yeah. So I really suggest that you make sure that your child is never really alone, and doesn't have the ability to go there without adult supervision.
But I do think that even for a river, one of the first things that they do here in the States is they teach children, and they teach them how to swim in their clothing with their shoes on. And they teach them how to, with clothing and shoes, when you're in the pool, how to relax and turn over onto your back so that you can float as a survival skill. So that if you're in the water and you've gone in with your shoes on, that you know to get on your back and float. And that has saved some kids, and gotten them enough time so that somebody could find them. So, I know, Debbie Downer. But let me also pause for a second, because you were talking about IBT and skills, to give you this week's message from them about what they are offering, because they offer free stuff every week to you guys. This week, they say, for our ABA parents and guardians, we would like to offer our free IBT parent e-learning course, Parent Getting Started. So that is free this week. Every week, it's something different. For educators in the community, we're offering our IBT educator e-learning modules, educator teaching communication. And that's available to educators at absolutely no charge. Get your pencils ready, because I'm going to give you guys a phone number. They are continuing to offer their Registered Behavior Technician 2.0 training course, free for parent audience on a case-by-case basis, which means you've got to call and request it. That's a $440 some odd value. It's the course that therapists take as they're working towards their registered behavior technician status. It's really great. It's a 40-hour course. I encourage parents to take it, but you have to call and ask for it and demonstrate that you're ready to do the 40-hour commitment. In addition, they're offering a 10% discount on all skills products for anybody that says that they heard about us on Autism-Live. You just call and you say, Shannon sent me, say, I want the friends and family program. And now I'm going to give you the phone number, and I'm going to give it twice here, 877-975-4559. Again, that's 877-975-4559. And if you are out of the country and that is not going to work for you, a phone number, all you have to do is email me, s.penrod@autism-live.com. And I think Traven will put that up on the screen in just a second here for you. You can email me and I will, there it is. Thank you, Traven. And I will forward that over to the folks at IBT and Skills.
Hey, thanks for watching Autism Live. To subscribe, click here. And if you'd like to check out some more of our videos, click here.